got Mr. Sticktight here.
What is up, folks? We just finished performance night at the Q Smokehouse on NCO's Norwegian Joy, and this is a basic rundown of what I got. Inky case, it's the way to go. It's the standard in flying and traveling for musicians. This thing's a workhorse, and your instruments are guaranteed to be protected. I got the EXV version, as I play a Firebird, Gibson Firebird, and a Fender Stratocaster. Both are absolutely amazing. They're my go-tos, they're my babies. I usually carry my microphone in here, the Sennheiser E965. I love Sennheiser, huge fan of them. Here's the guitars I use. I have a Gibson Firebird. This is one of the main ones I usually play, and it's one of my babies. I've had it for a while. It used to be, we don't play a lot of smoky bars anymore, but when this thing was as white as the pick guard. Now it's turned yellow over time, and it's got a little bit of tape of Road War on it, but that's just character. And this thing sings. It's one of my absolute favorite ones. I love this thing. This was a gift from my grandfather, by the way. That it was a gift I never asked for, and he surprised me with it one day, and it'll never leave me. I got a tattoo of it right here on my arm too, so that's one of my nearest and dearest babies. And then my other one, my main one, this was a gift from my dad. Fender Stratocaster, 1961. And this thing plays phenomenally. It feels great, and it's a very versatile guitar. It can do everything from country to rock to blues. When they made this back in the day, they really did it with perfection. Their instruments are good today. Not saying nothing wrong, but back then, just the craft was amazing. And a little bit of road worn from over the years. And my dad put a little plate on there, Sticktight, to my son, whom I am well pleased, Dad. So, appreciate it, Dad. Love you. And this has been great, and it's been a pleasure having this and the Firebird going overseas with us and playing in multitude of different countries too. So this has been great, and I carry my strings in here. I use Diodario, the new XS coated strings. I've never used coated strings before. These things changed my life, not only from the feel, but they last long too, and I go through strings like crazy. These things are built to last, and I highly recommend them to any 6-string guitar player. These are phenomenal. Alright guys, so this is my pedal rig rundown. I've always been a tube amp fan. I love tube amps. I have several at home, and but for travel, I needed something to be on the fly, a true fly rig. A few years ago, even before we found out we was doing this, I came across the Richie Cosson fly rig, and this is it right here, the RK5, and this thing sounds amazing. It is the closest thing I have experienced that replicates a tube amp. In the center here, this activates your amp, essentially. So turn that on, that's your amp. You can have reverb activated. I always keep the delay on. That's my standard delay settings. And it's got a distortion, and then you got your boost. I got the Keeley compressor. When I'm playing my Firebird, I switch to the humbucker, and then when I play with the Strat, I switch to single coil. Dimebag from hell. The standard Crybaby is phenomenal, but this has got so many options. It's got an EQ on the side and different settings, plus a boost right here too. This is my wireless rig that I use, the Shure GLXD, and it is great. I've never had any dropouts with this. It also acts as a tuner as well. The Noble's ODR Mini Overdrive. This is a really great pedal. I've always been in search for a clean sounding overdrive that wasn't distortion, just clean overdrive. This thing gets the job done. Phase 95, I love this thing. Have a Harmony Singer. I use it every once in a while just for specific songs, like certain cover songs or certain songs that we write. In the Air Tonight. That's a very cool one when we cover that. And then my DI box to run this amp into the mixer board. And that's also my in-ear monitor box. It's made by Shure. It is phenomenal. I love it. I haven't had any problems with dropouts with it.
What's up? I'm Travis here. I have this Inky case we got before the show, before our tour started. Put a little tape on there, a little sticker here to let us know, who it is. Airport tag. You must have an airport tag, otherwise, well, you know what happens there if it's lost. Open this up here. Nothing fancy here. I'm running with a Charvel San Dimas Pro Mod. It's white. Got a little nick there. That's a good story. We had a crazy guy here, our second cruise we ever did. I think he like possessed the cruise ship, and crazy stuff happened because this thing just fell and hit the ground, and it's fine. It's a tank. It weighs like 9.5, 12 pounds, something like that. Roasted maple neck. I'm not endorsed or anything, but I gotta say, I used to have a Mexican-made Fender P bass. This is still a Fender product technically, but this Charvel right there, man, it's a workhorse. And I gotta say, out of any type of P bass, it's my favorite one I've had so far. I just love it. It reminds me of the 80s a little bit, and I'm a huge 80s fan. I use it for standard tuning, all my standard tuned songs, or maybe drop D every now and then. Second bass I have, let me get my strap out of here. This is a Red Monkey design strap. I'm not endorsed or anything, but it'd be sick. I needed a nice leather strap, and I've seen Slayer using this strap, Kerry King, so if it's good for Slayer, and it can last the road. So good leather products you can never skip on. This is my Spectre Q4. I got this off Craigslist in 2014. Got this thing for $200 cash. This kid like had it listed, of course, back before Marketplace and all that. Craigslist was the only one you could go to. So it's a six bolt. No, it's five bolt on neck. Honestly, it's really it's a good instrument. I mean, it's got the EMG HZs in it, and it's got some type of preamp that it just really sounds good. I mean, for $200, I couldn't ask for a better bass because, you know, if something happens to it, I don't have much invested. But currently, I have the DR coated strings on here. They're okay. Actually, they're Diodario coated strings. I normally use DR high beams. My mistake. DR high beams are still my favorite. These are okay, but yeah, made in Korea, nothing fancy. I brought some low budget instruments just in case something happened in travel. I normally play Thunderbird, but as you see, this case doesn't fit a Thunderbird because a Thunderbird is as tall as a utility pole, so it would come up to right about here. So I would love to eventually have a Thunderbird in a case like this, but you just can't. So that's what I'm running with there, and I'll show you my pedal rundown. I'm running with a ISP Decimate. I don't really need the noise gate, but I had an old Ampeg that was noisy back in the day, and I just never took it off the board. For my amp, basically, I'm running out of here as a Sans amp Tech 21 bass driver. It's the cream of the crop. It's definitely the industry standard. It's probably pointless for me to plug a XLR out here because they don't normally keep me up in the house mix for some reason. So it's always a sound war here. It's always the bass player having a sound war with the sound tech, but you know, that's why I have an amp on stage and I crank it to 11. Have to have a bass compressor. That changes the tone on any board. And then this right here is a Stage Right tuner, very cheap. A friend of mine back in the day gave that to me, and it's probably the brightest and largest display I've ever seen on a tuner, and I love that because honestly I can't see that well, and on stage at night you gotta have that. And this is my Line 6 Relay G50 wireless receiver. I got it used, but honestly it's never failed me. It's been a good unit. I'm rocking a wedge monitor here. I left my in-ears at home, and I've been running through this amp right here. This is a Black Star. I never even knew they made bass amps, but this right here is something. I'm really not impressed with the sounds, but it's the only thing I have here to be heard with. Gallium Kruger's my favorite. I couldn't bring that, so knowing what I know now, next time I'm just gonna bring my in-ears. It's gonna be great. But yeah, this is our stage right here. This is where we play every night. This is where the magic happens. We used to have drums. That's us.